All right, we're here with Clay Shannon, who's the owner of Shannon Ridge Vineyards and Winery, and we're over here in the Clear Lake Oaks area in his Cabernet vineyard. And Clay's engaged in an interesting project using sheep in the vineyard. He's going to tell us a little bit about it as we take a look around. Clay.
Hey Brian, how you doing?
Good, man.
So we're at about 2,300 feet in elevation. This is one of our Cabernet vineyards that goes into our Shannon Ridge Cabernet that's nationally distributed and our top-selling item. We do about 15,000 cases of this thing, and it's growing at about 30% per year. But you've probably heard before that we raised some sheep, and we started really small, and now we're kind of getting bigger, and we're getting into grass-fed land. But we've been sheeping the vineyards after harvest to clean up the vineyard, to clean up the grapes underneath the vines after the guys maybe drop a little bit of fruit, or if you're machine harvesting, the machine leaves a little bit of fruit. So we usually run the sheep in the vineyards after harvest, and then and this year we're going to start lambing the sheep in the vineyards, and so they're cleaning, keeping the weeds weed free pretty much throughout the year. But as we get smarter and as we experiment with these sheep, what I wanted to show you today is what we are doing. We're currently pulling leaves with these things, and we're learning how to manage the sheep to keep them from eating the fruit. And what you're looking at here is a Cabernet vineyard that has not been leaf pulled at all. It's kind of on the vigorous side this year, and due to some late rains and some deep soils, late rains, and not extremely hot. East-west rows usually burn up a little bit less water, so they're a little bit more vigorous than our north-south rows. But you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but the canopy's very dense this year. And if you start opening up the canopy in the fruit zone right in here, you'll see some yellow leaves, and those are signs of potential negative quality, potential shading, or for sure shading, and we don't want that. What we're going to do is run across the avenue here, and we're going to show you what the sheep are doing. Okay, Brian, so hey, we just crossed the avenue. You can see over there, I mean, we just moved 50 feet. Here's a block that was sheeped here last night, and you could see yellow leaves, okay? Well, the reason why you're seeing yellow leaves is because the dark green, large basal leaves have been removed from the outside of the canopy, and now we're looking on the inside of the canopy, and guess what we see hanging here? Fruit. That means the sheep have exposed this to the sunlight. We can see the other row, we can see the dirt through the other side. That means our canopy is open, and now I think we can grow some great fruit with non-veggie herbal. We want a little bit of herbal in the Cabernet, but non-veggie Cabernet characters. Again, I think there's a $20 or $30 an acre pass. The sheep start, and they eat all the little suckers that are regrown, and then we prune them off later. They eat these young regrown shoots that we really shouldn't have there, but this year again we've had a lot of extra vigor, and due to the late rains. And notice they'll clean all those leaves and petioles right up. They expose the fruit so we can get our sunlight in there and get the air in there so we don't have mildew issues. They also are cleaning up any little summer annual weed growth that has started to come underneath the drip irrigation. But what's really interesting, on a north-south row and on an east-west row, you really want to pull leaves on the cool side of the vine. And what's totally interesting, that's where the sheep hang out. And they, just in another hour or two, the sun will be up, and all of a sudden this will start getting shaded over here. So the sheep will work the north side of this vine because it's in the shade the majority part of the day, more than the south side, which is exactly how we would normally pull leaves. And it's unbelievable. It's automatic. It's just very cool.
Okay, Clay, tell us where we are now.
Hey, Brian. So we're on the Augulin Vineyard, and this is, again, goes back into our Shannon Ridge Cabernet program, north-south rows, and this is where we've hand-leafed. So what you do see is the dry leaves, or the drying leaves on the ground. You see the fruit zone, and we didn't go very high on here because we're a little bit more concerned about sunburn, so we kind of leave a little umbrella underneath the fruit. But again, this is $250 an acre probably here. When we go a little higher, $250 to $300 an acre in cost. The leaves are in a form that they're not necessarily. I mean, it's garbage on it, or it's not garbage, but it's not necessarily edible or available to the plants. And where the sheep will eat that leaf, digest it, poop it out, and it becomes immediately, as soon as we get some rain, a portion of the fertility that we're using. They're starting to lay down, if we can see them here, but we got about 300 head in here. There's about 100 young lambs and there's about 200 two-year-old, 3-year-old ewes that are pregnant, hopefully pregnant, and they're going to start lambing. This is our first group, so these guys will start lambing probably about the 5th of October. We are minimizing herbicide, we are minimizing mowing, which minimizes dust, which minimizes fossil fuels, and there's just a whole bunch of great stuff that's going on here. And bottom line, it's just really exciting. It's new. You know, I've been farming grapes for 30 some years, and this is, you know, puts a smile on my face because it's new and it's challenging and we're learning something.
Well, and Clay, you know, obviously we've touched on this in these segments, but this is an ongoing process with exploring how to achieve sustainability, right? I mean, it's a work and a project in process always.
Yeah, I think it's an evolution. I mean, you know, for every action, there's a reaction. For every reaction, there's an action. And I think we're starting to learn some of the tools we can use. This is sustainability is an evolution. You know, first off, we got to stay in business and feed each other's families, and secondly, we got to grow crops with softer fungicides and that are a lot more people friendly and dog friendly and kid friendly. And I just think we're starting to learn more and more tools that we can use and be sustainable in business, be sustainable farming, and you know, protect the environment we live in.